Alright, include
Yeah,
microphone
because you turned it
audio.
off last time, didn't you?
Wait. Just gonna make sure I'm sharing the party audio. There you go. Right, I'm sharing the party audio. Have you allowed your voice to be shared?
I didn't think I needed to do that, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's default or not. My
um,
720p because I'm fucking poor.
no, because you don't remember like last time, when you did this, like it was already like naturally you could hear my voice.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah, yeah.
changed anything.
Alright.
So what are we talking about today then, Darley?
Sneako L.
Sneako L. We're gonna talk about why he's now
Nah, his name's now Liko.
Leaker. Pretty fitting name for some guy who watches his
Yeah,
girlfriend get fucked.
yeah, it's a shame the only thing that's gonna be, you know, leaking is on his fucking girlfriend's chest. Absolute moron. Sitting there while he's gonna be leaking around the kindergarten, cutie loving little freak.
Honestly, like I know we can't make the assumption he's a nonce.
Well, you can make the assumption he's a nonce when he said that a movie of underage girls
Okay.
shaking their ass. So.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
No, I mean, whoa, you saying it's a good movie? Huh?
I'm not saying it's a good movie. No, I'm saying he said it was a good movie. You ain't catching like anything there, man. You're gonna invite me, by the way. We're gonna play matches in the.
I had to restart my game, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
But like, how much of like an actual like human being with negative brain cells do you have to be to sit there on a hill and say proudly with your chest out loud, sneaky, fucking hell, no, cuties, you know
Sneakies.
what? Cuties, not a bad film.
Do you know what? That is the type of person who dies on the hill. That actually gets
Like
absolute
fucking
skewered
Rushmore.
by everyone in their social like surrounding.
Oh, can we also talk about, for example, the fact that like recently he's been having beef with Most Critical.
I feel like that's an attention like thing. I feel like he only wants beef with Moist because Moist actually has a valid point, and it's plus the fact that he's doing it for attention because he's falling into irrelevancy since his Papa Andrew,
Lover boy.
yeah, certified lover boy. You know, went for a bit. Stopped giving his little son milkies.
Like, imagine you sit there and you generally like think today is going to be the day that I'm going to have a go at a well-respected man for being in a what's the name for the relationship? Monogamous or something?
Yeah.
Basically, where you settle down, you're okay with one girl, and you're fine with that. You know, have a couple of kids.
You know that
Sneako doesn't touch them.
Not to impose, but it's like that's like what I thought that was like a standard social construct.
Well, it is, but like, it's normally socially acceptable also because of the fact that like only the rich like got to like be known to do that. But yet again, not all rich people do that.
But it's also the fact that if he's going to dog on, you know, Moist Critical for being a monogamous relationship, then is he also going to dog on, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, maybe billions of people?
Oh, not just that, also like the people in his chat who also have a monogamous relationship.
No, it's very self-destructive, isn't it? Like fan base wise and clout wise.
Well, yeah. But like they're all like masochists, like they all like being tortured and pained by their leader because of the fact that they said, no, you can't have one girlfriend, no.
It definitely is a cult type like feeling around it. Plus the fact that I would be in pain too if I had to look at his face every time he would stream and stuff and
or his arms.
Yeah, and say whatever he likes to say behind a screen. Do you want to talk about behind the screen comment he made?
Oh yeah, like he says like Most Critical only won't say this in person. He's only saying it behind the screen. Yet he's doing the exact same fucking thing.
And Sneako, baby, if you're listening, yeah, which I really doubt, but if you are listening, I mean a narcissistic prick like you would have to listen. can't go without listening to a single thing about you, can you, buddy? But if you're listening to this, buddy, if there ever was the chance for me to say this to your face, I would. I would have an actual debate with you. I'll sit down and talk to you while burning my retinas, looking at your fucking ugly mug, my guy. But still, I would, you know, sit there and have a talk with you.
Do you know what I'm waiting for? Do you know what I'm waiting for?
What?
If he sees this, yeah, how many comments you hear about them saying, "Oh, they're British"?
Oh, they're British. Nah, because he's also going to, you know, look back on when I was a kid. And he's going to start roasting me, although when he was a kid...
No, when he sees you as a kid, he's going to get turned on. Okay, calm down.
Oh, yeah, the long hair really does it for him. The underage part, especially.
Yeah, makes you look like a girl, so, you know, he'd go for that.
Yeah, I know. But, anyway, I don't know. Also, the fact that he's kind of coping at the moment, like, you can very well tell that he's, like, kind of, like, he's, like, you know when someone says something on, like, a playground, and he's like, no, oh, shit, I don't know what to actually say that's valid, so I'm just gonna point out random stuff. Oh, you look like a crackhead! Like, let's be real.
Imagine having an argument with some guy, calling him a pussy because he won't fight you.
Yeah.
He admits he won't fight you, but however, he gives you a condition on what he will fight you by if you fight someone else.
Wait,
crazily enough. What?
I've got someone leaving comments. How about have a look at this? Right, no, you can continue talking.
Okay. Just simply gonna say, like, imagine having an argument with someone about, like, saying, you're not, I'm not gonna fight you, but yeah, like, they give you a way saying that they're gonna fight you if you go to their conditions. If you really want to fight someone that bad, wouldn't you just do it then?
Why are you such a hater? You have so much hate in your heart. Well, that's the intriguing comment there. It's not. It's more or less pointing out the hypocrisy in, you know, what he does. Plus the fact that, I mean, I'm entitled to have my opinion, but that's not what I'm going to fall back on. It's the fact that you see probably your, you know, grandfather, you know, you probably see Sneako as a high part in your life, and you're already conditioned to automatically jump to a defense of a man who says he doesn't need anyone to defend him. How do you think Sneako is?
Might I add, are you really going to defend a man who sat there and willingly said he likes a film of little girls shaking their ass?
And, I mean, let's be real, yeah. He said, oh, the plot's great and everything. You're the one conditioned by media to... Wait, we've got this person. They're called leaks. They said, you are conditioned by the media to instantly attack him. I'm not conditioned by the media to instantly attack him. I'm conditioned by what I have seen and what he has said willingly himself to then, you know, bring up my own point of view. And I am conditioned by, I don't know, someone saying, well, a lot of shit that is completely, and I mean completely, yeah, hypocritical of what he completely does. I mean, let's be real, he sat there and said to Moist Critical, yes, that all you do is hide behind a screen. What does he do? And I want you to answer that in the comments yourself. What does he do?
The fact that the only one time he's been direct towards someone was to a woman, and then that woman was sitting there arguing back with him, and yet some guy saw that and thought that this, like, Sneako was being a horrible guy, so he went up and beat up Sneako. If it was seriously the case of, like, he didn't do anything wrong, the woman would have sat there and defended him. Said, oh no, he's not doing anything wrong.
Alright, I appreciate obviously you saying, like, the things you've said, obviously. The person in the comments said that, obviously, they love me, even if I ever, like, love, like, what can I say? They said, like, wake up, brother. Which is funny, because obviously you're believing the Matrix thing, which is, okay, that's fair enough. But, obviously you're entitled to your, like, you're entitled to your opinion, even, you know... But it's more or less the fact that you believe in the whole red pill thing. Now, let's say the person, like, I don't know, let's say that you're believing the whole red pill situation from, I don't know, Andrew Tate. That's where mainly that belief came from, yeah? Now, might I add, why would someone who's saying, oh, the government and everyone red pills you, oh, billionaires red pill you, oh, it's what everyone wants you to believe, society, who also it claims to be, what, a millionaire? Wouldn't that conflict their own interests? They are literally, what they're doing, they will sit there and they are using you for monetary gain by saying these things. They sit there and they will use monetary, like, so what they're doing is, yeah, they will use their own indoctrination to get you to pay them and line their pockets in the belief, because what they do is, they make you agree with them in a form, and I'm not saying this exactly, but it can be taken as a form of radicalism, because the fact is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I've been.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
The fact is that you're saying wake up, brother, and all this stuff, and oh, it's the Matrix, and well, I don't know if you've said that yet, but obviously, if you're like siding with Sneako, it's the Matrix. You've been red pilled and all that. Now imagine you're walking down the street and someone's saying that to you, but with a tinfoil hat on. Conspiracy theories. Do you listen to all the conspiracy theories? Now, I can admit there are things in the government and things like that, yeah, they do, and society is conditioned in a certain way, yeah, but it's not to the extent that they are making it. They are literally using it to profit off of you. They are literally using it because they see people who are vulnerable, and they see that as an easy way to make profit. They see people who are vulnerable. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, my ad is the simple fact of, so the whole thing with like the red pill, of like, oh, you've been red pilled so and so, but telling you to wake up, doesn't that just seem another form of like, for example, yeah, the government's got you in a certain belief, but yet these people are now making you in a certain belief also?
Yeah, it's literally going from one leader to another. They're telling you to wake up to their regime. Did you not think about it that way?
Yeah, sure, like, for example, the government have, like, they've been doing this for ages, so of course you can argue against the government with that. And yet, like, Sneako and agitate is a relatively newish thing. But how long can you sit there and actually listen to them and believe, you know, everything that these guys are saying are correct? You know?
Yeah,
like, for example, yeah, sure, like, we've dogged on, like, fucking Sneako just because of the fact that he's a massive beta who's literally watched his own girlfriend get fucked in front of him, said he didn't have an issue with it, yet said that he saw like, the guy pumped her, like, twice, and yet he had to leave the room.
Yeah, what kind of person who also says they're the man watches their girlfriend, who might I add, this person will be the same person who'll go, "What are you talking to my girl, man?
Yeah.
Is this guy bothering you?" That is the same person who also sat there and watched his girlfriend get fucked. Are we gonna sugarcoat that?
Can we also mention, like, the simple fact of he talked about saying, like, everything's being controlled, you know, like, everything's in a democracy, and quite frankly, he feels like government shouldn't have power over anything. So what, he feels like everything should just fall into anarchy? Or, like, listen to him? Like, he's a leader? Because I can tell you right now, Sneako is not a fucking leader. The last thing you want is to listen to a guy who literally watched his girlfriend get fucked.
Right, and also here's another...
you advice about pussy.
And here's another thing, yeah? You can say that, like, I don't know, everyone, like, they can sit there and go, okay, well, that leader, you know, that leader and politician, you know, they say one thing and then they do another. That's a conflict of interest. Also, the people who you look up to are doing the exact same thing. Sneako, for example, yeah, will say, like, oh, I'm the man, and all this stuff, and they'll say, like, oh, I'm an alpha male, and all that stuff, and they will, like, preach all this stuff, yet they will have a complete conflict of interest, because they will do the complete other thing. Do you really want to listen to someone that doesn't even follow their quote-unquote own, like, guide? It's a sort of guide to how, like, life should be, how you should be.
Yeah. Then Here's another crazy thing. The simple fact of, so they will sit there and tell you, for example, how to like, you know, leave the Matrix for their example, you know. Yeah, if this is the case of like how like
I
knowing
would
how
read
to
your
leave the
comments if they'd
Matrix.
actually load through, but they're not. Give me a second.
If the word-
Right, so I just obviously looked at them, and obviously you were saying that, like, stuff like, oh, it's the media and everything, and obviously, wait, let me have another quick look. I'm just gonna, look, you're not gonna see anything, but I'm just gonna look at it because it's not loading up on my phone. So you say the Matrix wants a new world order. The one world government, the Great Reset, is a real term used by Economic Forum. Now, I hope you understand, yeah. This is coming from someone, right, so let's say, like Andrew Tate, for example, and he talks about this, but he has used the government multiple times in an exploitive manner. And he's supposed to be against the government? Against the world order? Yet he literally uses it to get what he wants? That's
like,
questionable.
can we talk about a guy who like, who somehow will tell you how to get pussy and everything, yet in order for you to, you know, get pussy, you need to be like Sneako. Yeah? You need to be like Sneako, you need to be like Andrew Tate. Sneako has literally watched his girlfriend get fucked. Andrew Tate probably pays the females to have sex with him.
Look, brother, unfortunately so, you say, obviously, the whole terms of red pilled and everything, yeah, so and so forth, but the thing is, you've been indoctrinated. You've been indoctrinated yourself. Even if, like, admittedly, it's very unfortunate, but take into the extent that you obviously may have been vulnerable at one point, I'm not sure. You may have had a certain point in your life where you felt down, and that is unfortunate. But the fact is, you've gone from, obviously, now you're seeing, like, the point of, oh, the government, the world order, and all that stuff. Like, you went from, what, I don't know, maybe, well, it's normal, it's just this, things happen. Or you may have been a Redditor or something, who knows, alright? But let's be real, yeah? You've gone from, I don't know, something towards, like, at one point in your life, at least, you're like, it's the government, it's whatever. And then you've gone to, like, under the, oh, but that's a world ruler, this is that. But then it's the fact is that then you, like, look up to these people, and then these people are already doing fucked up shit anyway. And then what, you're gonna start justifying their fucked up shit as well? Like, I'm not like, oh yes, pro politicians, pro this, pro all that shit. It's a wonderful world we live in and stuff. But I'm also not the one sitting here with what might as well be what, a tinfoil hat on, saying, oh, this is how it's all going, and this is that, and this is this, and you know, stuff like that. Conflict, and then like do a whole thing where I conflict my own interests because I get like benefits. Like a beneficial like thing from having a what how do I put this, having I don't know, a corrupt government like a corrupt government who I use to get what I want, but then I'm gonna say the government like is this awful thing and everything, but I'm also gonna get my pockets lined by vulnerable people. But then say that, oh, I'm like really successful and everything. Very successful off of, you know, getting little kids to grab their mum's credit cards, maybe. You know, it's... Yeah, go ahead.
The whole thing with like, you know the pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah, it is a pyramid scheme.
No, so what I'm trying to get towards is like, for example, Andrew Tate, yeah? He made, you know, the whole Hustlers University thing, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's like, what, $50? In like pounds, that's like 40 something.
Wait, sorry to interrupt for a minute. I literally just a comment went through and he went, now you're attacking me because a viewpoint, because because it's a viewpoint you understand nothing about. See, here's the fact, I was not attacking you. If you see, what, Redditor or something like that as an attack, then that's just what you're, like, yeah, that's just what you're preconditioned to thinking. And I'll tell you this now, yeah, I was not attacking you, and it's kind of unfortunate, because I literally went, unfortunately, you may have been vulnerable at one point. That's not me attacking you. That's more of a condolence type thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're gonna then sit there and like whine saying I'm attacking you when I never once necessarily went out of my way of malicious intent, that's a bit unfortunate as well. That's unfortunate. I was just therefore responding in the way that like makes sense. And I was just kind of telling you, kind of how it is. I mean, obviously, as someone who likes Sneako, you're gonna have your fucking, you're gonna have your walls up at the moment. You know, you're gonna have your fists up. You're gonna curl it. You hit me with the. Now you're attacking me. But to be honest with you, I was not attacking you.
Might not be a Sneako fan. Might be an Andrew Tate fan.
It might be. Might be.
Not even better. But fact is, it's simply. It's a conversation we are having. If you do not like the conversation, if you think any hostility is towards you, then why are you continuing?
Well, it's also the fact that that's unfortunate that you see my opinion on something as an attack. As you were saying yourself earlier, that it, like, what? Let's have a look. You see what I was thinking and my opinion on a situation as an attack. And what, along the lines of what something you understand and everything. I never said that I didn't like you. I never said anything like that. I have no problem with you in the slightest. I'm talking about probably someone you hold to a high regard. And it's kind of unfortunate that you're getting offended on their behalf.
Yeah. So... It's quite frankly, if you're also not into a conversation, and if you feel like a conversation, especially about an argument towards a certain person who doesn't even acknowledge you, like I guarantee this person, like Sneako, they don't know who you are or anything, and yet you're getting offended about a point directed towards them and not you.
It's also kind of unfortunate that you're getting offended on the behalf of someone who sees you as a paycheck. That is actually quite sad, and that is what I would say is a problem with society, is that we, unfortunately as people, have way too much of, almost like you look up to people way too much over the internet, who really, in fact, see you as a paycheck. No matter how much, your daddy Sneako or your daddy Andrew Tate's not going to acknowledge you. No matter how much you think so, like, that's the same people with groupies at, like concerts and stuff. They're not going to acknowledge you. At the end of the day, it's a way they live, it's a way they survive. Respect to, obviously, their, like, well, I wouldn't say respect towards, like, Sneako or Andrew Tate, but, like, respect to, obviously, them. They've managed to make themselves somewhat successful. But it's the fact that you then get hurt on their behalf, which is also kind of to the extent of, okay, you don't like this person, I don't like you.
Yeah. If you're going to say, for example, the fact that when someone simply said they regards of, like, you might have been vulnerable, that's not like taking pity on you or anything, because most people go through a vulnerable stage.
Yeah, and as a man, like, if you are a man, I'm sorry for assuming if you're not, but if you are a man, look, I'm a guy, alright? I know it's hard to say that you were vulnerable once upon a time, but that doesn't mean that you need to condition yourself to when someone says you may have been vulnerable, to that being an attack or something. It's okay to have been vulnerable once in your life. I am not going to sit there and go, like, everyone's perfect, you're a man, you can't have feelings, you can't have emotions on anything. Because what am I doing right now? I'm talking about how I feel on a situation, I'm talking about a lot of things, you know, I'm not going to sit there and go to you, like, let's say if you were vulnerable, which you haven't, like, you might have said or not, I'm not sitting there and going to you like, oh, that's a terrible thing. Never be vulnerable. You should have thick skin. You should be nothing's allowed to hurt you. You know, no crying, nothing like that. No, because I feel like as a person, you'd have a bit more of an understanding on like, you know, your emotions, and it's okay to be like that. It's not like sitting there and going, oh no, top G, not allowed to feel. You know, or you're too gangster to feel. You're too ahead of the situation. It's I don't know if the whole red pill thing and the Matrix thing is your way on getting a grip on life, that's fine. Do you know what? That's whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying.
If you want to live your life, then fine.
If you want to live your life by taking what technically another form of a fucking your so-called red pill, then that's whatever, bro. That is literally whatever.
If you're gonna take a conversation about some guy who doesn't even know who you are and get defensive over the fact that you don't know this man, then I am sorry, but like your main point is invalid if all you're getting mad about is about the fact that you don't like how we're talking about this dude.
Or saying that I have no understanding. I might, right, at some point, yeah, I might gloss over something that I may need more information on, and I'm okay. I will admit if I'm wrong about something. If you show me the evidence that I'm wrong about it, and it's within reason, I will admit I'm wrong about it, alright? Because I'm not going to sit there and have on a high horse. But I'm also not going to sit there and make like anyone feel like I'm instantly attacking them. And it's tragic how, you said that I was attacking you, on the sense that it's tragic because you shouldn't automatically think that I'm attacking you because I have somewhat of an opposite opinion on what you believe, or I'm saying that, like, obviously, as I said, the whole vulnerable thing, I feel bad for you because you shouldn't automatically feel like someone's attacking you. And that might be a problem in your life, you know, that might be a problem with your situation, that might be a problem with what you're, like, grown up with, that might be any problem in general. But anything that's caused that, I feel sorry for you. I genuinely do. And my pity's not something that's like, oh, it's a bad thing or a negative thing. I just genuinely feel sorry for you that you feel like you're getting attacked over something like that trivial.
That's not directed towards you.
Yeah, I have no issue with you. You're allowed your opinion, and obviously I am another person who believes in free speech. But free speech within reason. They always, yeah.
Especially in the UK, like, free speech has been going, like, abysmal recently. Like, we're getting a lot less free speech more than ever, like, as of recent in the UK. But yeah, for, like, to have a conversation with someone and instantly assume it's going to be directed, like, a positive side of, like, saying, you know, Andrew Tate's a great guy.
No, the comments, that's tragic, because I'm getting quite a few comments and I feel kind of bad. Like, so I can't read them, but without making the video cut out, I can't read them, so I feel kind of bad. But honestly, like, if that's it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because you know, if you take, right, this is gonna sound really fucked up. If you take the kind of like standpoint, yeah, because right, if you take, right, actually no, fuck it, right, I'm not gonna say it. But what I was going to say was, if you take this type of viewpoint and this is kind of how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Like, if you like automatically feel attacked or something on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Okay, just wait. I'm just gonna say this leaks person now. Okay.
Yeah.
For the simple fact of we can't look at the comments due to the fact that the person who's streaming Dali, he is on PlayStation. It doesn't load properly on the phone. So, however, now I will be looking at them. So you can't use the excuse of saying, "Oh, well, you can read them, you just won't." It's not.
Do you know what? I can't read them right now. But if you really want, do you know what? I'm gonna do it right now for you, buddy. I'm gonna do it right now for you. I'm gonna go to the advanced settings. I'm gonna turn comments on the side. It's gonna make the screen completely smaller, but just for you, I'll do that. There you go. Right. So much stereotypical negative coming from you. Wake up. Look at the bigger picture. Why do you need to be concerned with a so-called bigger picture? You are a small
You're
number
not even a part of it.
in the entire world. Yeah, you are a small number of what, 8 billion, and you're sitting there talking about. I genuinely like to hear your responses. Well, that's okay, but you're talking about a bigger picture that necessarily, for one, shouldn't concern. Yeah.
Wait, ask, because I can't tell now if they can hear me. Ask if they can hear me.
Can you hear the other person? And I'm being being completely honest.
They haven't replied to a single thing about my
Wait, let me just turn. Yeah, they can hear you. They can hear you. I'll turn it up. And if you say that, obviously you can read them, you just can't. I will be completely honest with you. I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't read them.
So you can hear me. So it's the simple point of I don't understand why you are getting so offended over a point that's not directed towards you. It's a genuine point of him just saying he could have asked if you was being vulnerable. That's not an issue. Most people go through life with a vulnerability. That's nothing to be ashamed of. It wasn't something he was poking at you with. So the fact that you are taking a discussion about a man, like two men who don't even know you, and you were taking it personal, that's a shame.
Okay, right, fair enough. You said you're not offended at all. You, don't feel attacked. I was misspoken. I like the conversation. Alright, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Is there any point you want to make? Like, right, so I've got a question for you. Do you like Andrew Tate? Or Sneako, should I ask? Do you like them? Yeah.
Or any of them. Or any of them. Like, any people like them.
I'm gonna wait for it to load in.
Oh no, I'm watching it right now. There was actually 4 people who were watching.
Yeah, I know. Ago. But I think it might just be because of their shock title, to be honest.
Probably. Well, no, but that's why.
I mean, it is a little gaff. It's a little joke. It's a little gaff. I don't like them.
Well, not just that.
It's silly to like anybody without meeting someone.
Because if you, well, no, because you name it like that. Because if you just say I'm talking, then you go to talk about like Andrew Tate. No one's gonna watch that.
So
it's directly towards an audience.
Obviously, right? Yeah, which is fair enough. They went. I don't like them. It's silly to like anybody without meeting someone. That's perfectly valid. That is perfectly valid. You respect them about them exposing the global problem. The thing with that is, but we also, right, yeah, I admit, yeah, right, there is a lot of global problems. There is a lot of like there is a global power. In any society, there's always an authority. And there's going to be corrupt things going on in the sidelines. That is obviously, but this is part of what they pick out. They pick that stuff out, which, yes, may actually be an actual problem. But then what they do after that is, they'll then start hitting with some other things. And you can't disagree, yeah. Let's say, since they have been around, in your environment, have you not seen people who are taking what they're doing, like, or saying, or preaching about how someone should be, and is using it for, like, in a negative way? Do you not see any negative impacts on society? In young men, stuff like that in general, do you not see any negative impacts of it? And like, do you not? Yeah, alright. So having more than one woman, you strongly disagree. I mean, yeah, it's also, there's been like, how a lot of, right, so they might talk about how, like, they might talk about, like, for example, how men's mental health, they'll talk about that, but then they'll also kind of precondition people to be a certain way.
Well, what I was going to say, at the beginning of when, like, Andrew Tate and all that, like, when Andrew Tate came into everything, it was more about, he talked about men's mental health, so then, when everyone, like, listened to that, saying, oh, you know, this guy's now rooting for men, then he went back to the ways of saying, oh, but, you know, however, the women, you know, they shouldn't be in power because they're too emotional, because that is something that he said.
It's also, right, so, Sorry to intervene here. They said quite a valid point. They said like, however, I don't care for how someone lives their life sexually, which is okay, but it's more or less the fact that like, he can have obviously. Alright, so yeah, right. Resistant, but should live, but also bad advice. Yeah, so it's unfortunate because obviously that whole bigger picture scheme is kind of watered down by most of the bad things they obviously say, the advice they give to the youth, the way that the youth kind of look up to him as like a potential father figure or like a bigger brother, which may be seen as positive in certain circumstances, but under the fact of the way they live their lives and how it kind of preconditions the youth to like making massive mistakes.
Or not just that, for example, the whole thing with like if we're going into specific, like Andrew Tate, the fact that he talks about, you know, he's got multiple girlfriends, he's got multiple wives, he's had multiple kids with other women. And he looks after them, and he makes sure that they're all cared for and everything. But it's the major point of like Andrew Tate then will go ahead and support someone like Sneako, however, who like for some reason believes like a monogamous relationship isn't the right, you know, call. That you should have more than one woman.
And here's another question, yeah, and this is just going to be on the spot, yeah. So you've said they obviously have bad advice and stuff, and that they're exposing the bigger picture, but the only question is, the only thing that obviously this is just like suspected, the only thing that can really be shown is that the only receipt you really have for them exposing the bigger picture is their word for it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many, like, or any receipts of their potential big, like, world, global whole thing. I have not seen any, like, receipts of it. And personally, I could be wrong. There could be receipts of it. But what they expose, and you can see they've been wrong, or they've given really terrible advice. But then it's like, are we just supposed to take their word on everything they say? And this is like men that, I don't know, Sneako, cuties, said it's a good film, watching underage girls and stuff, and then he also said that, like, but then there's also the same people who obviously say about the whole, the bigger picture of the world, but then they'll also sit there and, like, they'll sit there, this, mental health, and then they'll also push down other people, and for someone who Sneako tries to take a righteous stance at times, to then automatically just melt down like a little kid and instantly start attacking something, like, and admittedly, yeah, at the start of the stream, I was heckling stuff, you know, that's just a quick way to get people, but it's like the fact that he would sit there and say, like, stuff like, men's mental health, women, like, they're just, like, gonna heckle at men and stuff, and I'll admit, there is misandry in the world. If you don't know what that word is, look it up, but there is misandry in the world, and admittedly, yes, there's also misogynistic things in the world, henceforth, people are awful to each other, but it's the fact that he will take a righteous stance, but then what, the second someone doesn't, like, see his point at all, he will then instantly start calling them ugly and shit. Like, he has no actual way to actually say anything valid, or anything to actually come back. Apart from gawking on appearance.
For the fact that he simply goes for appearances based, yeah, for example, someone like Moist Critical. So Moist Critical, he's like, what, 5'5", yeah? However, someone like Sneako, 5'6" or something like that. But, for example, he instantly goes to about looks and everything, yet Moist Critical is a well-built man. He's got a good physique, you know? And yet Sneako is someone who doesn't have that, but yet dogs someone about their appearance.
Right, now you're talking about 9/11. 9/11. Right, the Great Reset is the same elite that has always tried, has always had the same agenda of justifying 9/11. Who's justifying 9/11?
There are literally only certain people who justify that.
Most people who justify 9/11 are terrorists.
From the people for example, who did it, or like from the same country, and like certain people from that country believe I was a good fit.
Oh, the war. Okay. Right, so we can talk about things like that, right? So are you talking about, let's say, America and stuff in general? The war from 9/11. Alright, so America's a capitalist country. They do most things for their own interests. Like most countries, they do most things for their own interests. America more so. You can see, obviously, this is going to sound kind of controversial, but there has been at least proof of America using war as an excuse to obtain resources. Yeah, that can be factual, and so forth. But people are in power, yeah, and these people in power do anything to benefit themselves or their people and their country as they are supposed to. And this sounds kind of, it does sound fucked up, you know, people doing really fucked up shit to others. But this entire world was, what, back in the caveman times, what, there were separate tribes, those tribes would kill each other, get resources, keep their people alive, because that's what's in their best interest. It's not much different, except from the only thing that's different now is that we've got screens and technology. Justifying the war from 9/11 was the fact that America lost the World Trade Center. The World Trade Center was a great way of getting their income and everything and so forth. And it was just a way for them to quote, like, in what would sometimes make sense, it's a way for them to quote unquote get their own reparations. For World War II, World War One, I'm pretty sure France imposed very unfair reparations on Germany, which obviously ended up in another war. It led to another war and stuff like that. But that is just countries being somewhat greedy, the people in power being greedy, because they want their country to excel, they want their country to gain more resources, what's best for their country, and they do not sit there and they're like, let's be real, yeah? If I put someone in power, I'd want them to get something that's like, I want them to at least do what benefits my country. That is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to benefit people. And admittedly, yeah, they do fucked up things. Really fucked up things. But it's what they see as what benefits.
The better cause for them.
And the bigger picture and the better part of that, yeah, what they see as better might not actually be better in the bigger picture. But that is just what happens. That's like necessarily, I have a family, yeah. Hypothetically, I have a family. My family can't eat, so I go out and steal. I go out and steal. That's not a right thing to do, but I do it because my family needs to survive, or what benefits my family.
Well, honestly, thank you for the comment.
Alright, thank you, Leeds, thank you.
Hopefully some other time, if you subscribed or whatever, or have notifications, or just you look up the name or whatever, you can join again in another stream.
I'd love to have further talks with you. It was very interesting. I'm not gonna lie, and this is kind of what I hoped for, that someone would join and actually like contribute, because it's nice to have a talk with someone. I mean, censorship is a massive problem as well.
But honestly, Godspeed, brother.
Yeah,
hope that you have a good rest of your day, or if it's night or whatever. But hopefully you join a stream again, and you know, down for another talk.
Yeah, right. So I'll take in. Obviously, I said censorship, and admittedly, yeah, censorship's a big problem. You can see them like a lot of governments and that using censorship. For example, China using censorship. All right, thank you, Leaks, thank you. But yeah, no, it's like China using censorship, for example. That's very kind of you, though, Leaks. Yeah, but China using censorship.
No, honestly, that's made my day.
Yeah, that is actually quite nice. I like it when people contribute and like make it a lot easier, because I'd like to have an open talk.
Actually have a conversation.
Yeah, no, a conversation. I'm not sitting there going like berserk over it, but yeah, it's like, for example, China, they censor a lot of stuff for the benefit of them, for the benefit of for the benefit of their government and the benefit of what their interests are, which is a big problem as well. Hey, you're on the enemy team.
Yeah, been this way this for ages. Fuck you.
But yeah, no, I can obviously. Right, no, kill bro over. But no, I can see obviously that was actually quite nice.
Yeah, it was refreshing to actually have a conversation.
Yeah, and it's kind of refreshing that it wasn't the fact that it was like, because obviously this also takes another stance, the fact that, like, for example, Sneako and Andrew Tate are not very open-minded people. They have a stance, they have a belief, and they believe that, and they will stand on that mountain until they die. That hill is what they are prepared to die on. And it's nice for people to believe in their own beliefs, but when they don't take other parts or points of view into it, it's when it becomes an issue.
Honestly, I feel like we need to do this more often.
Yeah, I feel like we do, but it's when it becomes an issue. Like, and for example, it's like Sneako may have sat there and spoke about how, like, everything Charlie, like Most Critical, they're just instantly like dogging on him for everything. But I feel like he only dogged on him because Most Critical had a different perspective.
Does that. Well, not just that. Sneako does the exact same thing. So when it happens to Sneako, he cries about it.
No, he does. He cries about it. But it's also the fact that Sneako, the only, as Most Critical said, the only reason Sneako originally said anything, like saying, oh, I like that guy, I used to watch him. The only reason he said that was to avoid any backlash.
That was one thing I was going to mention. Why is it every YouTuber who ends up getting dogged on by someone or like talked about, they generally sit there and say, oh, I used to like this guy until, or like, oh, this person used to get everything right until they talked about me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that guy's very valid and everything, but the second he started saying something wrong with me, I can't do anything wrong. Why was there, like, I'm crystal perfect to my followers and my YouTube, like my people that completely blindlessly follow everything I say. I'm amazing.
That leaks person, honestly, legend.
Yeah.
They literally mentioned saying, like, for example, like they're glad that we're open-minded and like, the fact that we're actually two pretty smart people.
Yeah, which is fair enough. I mean, that's kind of pros and cons of taking fucking history, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But like, oh, it's like, for example, the whole recent, like, there's been a recent controversy with Logan Paul, for example.
You need to talk about that. Yeah, I don't know much about the Logan Paul situation.
So, well, I'll talk about it. You can add on.
Yeah.
Essentially, whole new crypto scam, and it was like a game where you could play and like you earn money.
Wait, is that the Paragon thing?
No, that's a whole different one.
It sounds like Paragon.
No,
or whatever it is.
It's got like the same thing. It's got the same like similar trait, but essentially.
What, the game where you grind to get
game,
like a crypto?
You basically you pay for an egg, yeah. You get an egg, you hatch it, you get a PG image of an animal.
Is this just an updated version of the CS:GO scam? Is Team Martin gonna be behind it? Is Team Martin? What? We're getting NFTs? We're getting NFTs?
No. So essentially, like, what happens is you pay for like the image of this like animal or an egg. The animal hatches. You get the animal, and then you get another one. You do the exact same thing, and then you breed them, and you get like AI. And you get AI images of like mystical animals. Like,
can they not even be fucked to make their own images themselves?
No, so they don't have an artist team behind it. So essentially, what happens is that they get these two animals that are different breeds, not the same. So like, one's a cat, one's a fucking dolphin.
Interspecies.
Yeah, they're interspecies, and then after that, what they do is then they go out their way to essentially, like, now you have this new image of a whole different animal, and that is how you make money. It's like a passive income or something, or like you make money from this animal, and then you can sell the animal.
So it's a game minus all the aspects of an actual good game.
So it's a game of an NFT. It's a game of an NFT.
So it's a game based on interspecies lovemaking to make an animal that they can't even be fucked to make. So you pay them to get the eggs, right?
Yeah, 2 eggs.
You pay them to use a service that's free.
Yes.
So you pay them for them to use AI generated photos, which are technically free, right?
Yes.
So you pay them, but don't they have to have a market in order to sell their crypto?
So what they do, they have the animals, and they put the animals, like these AI generated animals, on a market.
But what worth does this currency have in general?
So it's like an NFT. It's the same thing as an NFT.
Oh my god.
So it's basically it's a game where eventually your reward is you get an NFT.
So I pay them an egg, I wait for the egg to hatch, I pay them for another egg, I wait for that egg to hatch, I then make two species of a completely different species fuck to have a baby, and then when when that thing has that baby, I get a PNG that was AI generated.
Yes.
And that's worth money?
Yes.
That's worth money because all of the cronies that are putting money into it.
So do you know who CoffeeZilla is?
I know who CoffeeZilla is, yeah. It exposes a lot of NFT scams and stuff.
Yeah, no. So for example, he was talking about this, and he's done like 3 episodes of Logan Paul about this scam. Yeah.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's the fact that so someone has already spent, I think it was like $1 million in their country, but like American standard, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 500k they have spent on this NFT stuff. One guy has done this.
One guy. So that one guy's basically getting his own money back to him in pocket change.
Except for he hasn't received an egg.
What?
Yeah.
So he paid money. You're supposed to pay money. He paid money for a service, and he hasn't even received the service.
Yeah.
Isn't that's suable though, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
However,
advertising.
the reason why it's not suable in Logan Paul's case is because the game hasn't been fully finished. So the guy paid for a pre-bonus.
And why is Logan Paul jumping? He's been paid to do it? I'd hope so. They've been paid to. Has he been paid to?
No, this is Logan Paul's, Sven. This is what Logan Paul has done.
Oh wait, is that stupid? Bruh, so first he started selling NFTs of photos he took.
Yeah.
And now he's selling pets fucking each other. So my cat-dog situation that I get to watch on Nickelodeon for free.
Yeah.
What?
Essentially, the whole thing is that he decided to do
and
this
people are okay with
in like 2000. No, because essentially what it is that he's only preached this to like people who have already fallen for like big crypto scams.
Okay, right. So he's taking advantage of people who are vulnerable or naive.
So then, because of this, though, after they paid for the service, what they've done is then he's ran away with the money. Some guy has like essentially he had like people who were like working on the software, yeah.
Yeah.
All the people who were working on the software are meant to be getting paid. I think it was like 5k each month, yeah. Each worker on the software. They'd been working on it. No, so essentially, they were working on it, yeah, for 4 months without pay, yeah.
So that's already that is kind of against the law.
The people who were working on it, one guy in particular, said fuck this. He ran away to Switzerland with the software.
God damn. This is a better story than a fucking crime drama. What the fuck? Netflix, eat this up, buddy.
Honestly, stop paying.
God damn! But no, seriously,
I mean,
what the fuck? And actually pay the people, you know. Just get the actual people who are working on it, and then actually pay them. All right, we got a situation going on here. But no,
and then, you could probably get the software for free after.
Yeah, and then you get your NFT scam you get your NFT. I mean, I feel like Netflix wouldn't be above that at the moment, seeing the fact that they're dying. But
no, honestly, any controversy to Netflix would take so that they can get more fucking views.
Well, I'm sorry, they literally made Jeffrey Dahmer hot.
Cuties.
So.
Well, they made Cuties also.
And Cuties, yeah. I'm not saying that I think that actor's hot. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, no. Like people are directed to like think he's hot.
Yeah.
But no, like for example, they took the software.
Yeah.
And do you know how much he's ransacking it for? Like how much he wants in demand? 1 million.
Well, Logan Paul
has already made over $1 million from this crypto. Like people paying him, yeah.
Hasn't been fucking
released. Prepaid. People have already given him over $1 million, and yet he won't do it.
I don't blame the guy
You
for
wouldn't do
leaving.
it.
He was underpaid, but then saying that is stealing someone's software.
However, a team of 40 people were working on this day.
God damn.
40 people underpaid who left their jobs for this. Like, people left their jobs to do this.
They'd left their job, so obviously he promised them.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Not all
That's
of
actually
them.
mad.
Like, not all of them. Some of them were already, like, software workers.
Yeah.
Like, who were already known. But some of them just wanted to do software. Logan Paul hit them up and said, hey, I want you to work on this.
That's actually kind of tragic. I can't lie. I actually feel like really bad for them in general. But
And this isn't the first time Logan Paul has done something like this.
well, no, right? Because I can see obviously it's a crypto scam. Clearly a crypto scam in the first place. But let's be real. He's a hop and a skip away from another, certain forest in Japan incident.
Yeah, I was about to say another forest.
Because
But,
he's
like,
definitely almost
He's so
making it.
scared of being cancelled again. That's why he won't address it.
Yeah, he's so
He
scared of
literally,
being cancelled again, yet he will literally take the piss out of like religion and everything.
Like, literally, he had, when the allegation came out about this, yeah, he said, oh yeah, I won't talk for this until you guys see the podcast. So he was promoting his podcast to see about the scam that people have paid for.
Yeah, the scam that people have paid for that he's conducting himself. He's operating this scam. He's clearly trying to get more people to fall into it by hyping it up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like people have probably already... Well, yeah, they have. I don't know why I said probably. You told me they have. They have clearly fell for this problem already. And do you know what? Maybe they've been red pill too. Maybe.
I just hate the fact that it's simply like... People think social media influencers have so much fucking, like, power, and, like, you should believe everything they say.
Yeah.
Of course you can have idols, but it doesn't mean that idols are right.
It's the problem with growing up with a screen in your face. It's the problem with looking
like,
up to people who you
but
want
for example,
to be. It's
Yeah, but for example, but we grew up, like, Logan Paul was relatively hard time, mine and your time.
well, yeah. Well, in his, like one of his most popular parts, yeah.
But, like, yeah, again, I was never influenced by him. I never, like, thought, this is a great guy.
I never really went out my way to like him. I never really liked him, but that does not mean that I'm doing this out of malice. I'm just, like, genuinely just talking about this because, let's be real, yeah, that is really, like, fucked up.
It is, like, people, like, do you remember, what was the last crypto scam, like, where, Save the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Save the Kids. So some guy was paying shit tons of money. Like, he put his life savings into Save the Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah? Of course they rug pulled it, so because of that, he had no house. Because he put the rest of his mortgage on that on the crypto.
And I'm not surprised it got rug pulled, but it's literally that is just talking about charity organisations in the first place.
Well, it is, but, like, at the end of the day, some of them, like, I get, like, they're known to be, like, fucking terrible. Like, don't get me wrong, I know that. That's, like, first basic knowledge, but, like, at least with a charity, you can sit there and at least, like, they do some form of a dent.
Yeah.
Might not be massive, but it's at least something. However, Save the Kids was into, like, literally, like, for orphans.
Yeah.
And for kids who, like, don't have homes and, like all that, like, who can't eat. And yet, fucking FaZe K or whatever his name is, or, like, ex-FaZe member. And, like, who's the other guy? Like, Ice Poseidon? No,
Yeah.
oh, fucking, no. Oh, what's his name? Sam Pepper, that's him, Sam Pepper.
Oh, Sam Pepper, god damn.
Yeah, again, he rug pulled, and so did Ricegum. How can you trust like that? For example, yeah, again, another one, Ricegum. Do you remember when he took a sponsorship with, like, Loot Crate or whatever, or Mystery Crate or whatever it fucking was?
Yeah.
And it's where you pay a certain amount of money and you get like fucking mystery items.
Oh, yeah. What are you?
Only 5
Evaluate.
races
Wait. Who are you talking about?
Race gun.
Right. Oh, Rice. Oh, what the fuck? The Yeezys and shit like that. The
Yeah.
stupid thing where it's
Oh,
like,
the fact
oh,
that he won a house or something.
yeah, and like iPhones and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that only
Literally
turned
preying
out to
on
be a
like hype
scam.
beasts and stuff.
Yeah. That it wasn't even hype beasts, it was kids.
Oh yeah, obviously. But it was like kids who were like influenced by the way he was,
Yeah.
which was very
But
like at that
basically,
time very I wouldn't say at that time, Rice Gum's always been like this. But like very oh, what is it? I've lost my word for a minute. Not brag. It's when you
Well, no,
flexing.
for
There you go.
Rice Gum's,
Flexing.
Well, I was going to say, for Rice Gum's sense, it's the fact that kids watch him and like, yeah, we helped him get to there. Yeah, I want to see him like get more popular and everything. So like, when he
Yeah,
flexes,
we
he's like,
deserve
yeah,
a
kids,
slice
like,
of
I
that
want
pie.
Yeah. So because of that though, for someone like Rice Gum, he made that whole thing, and then turns out, oh, it was a scam. And here's my apology: I'm giving Amazon gift cards out. Yeah,
That were already
claiming them.
redeemed.
They were
Yeah.
already used.
And they all use the same PNG of gift cards for gift card giveaways.
So then, because of that, I am sorry, but how did you then go onto another crypto scam and see someone who was already known to, scam?
I don't know. I actually have no clue in that situation. That is like absolute naivety. That is like sitting there and going to yourself, they'll be better this time. That's like having an abusive relationship with someone who constantly will hit you, and unfortunately it is kind of an emotional abusive relationship in the fact that you're looking up to someone that you see and might be someone who inspires you, and you're that's unfortunate. Back out if it's like proper crashed. Yeah, it's proper crashed. That is unfortunate. Wait, no, you're still in the game, aren't you?
No, just restarted it.
That is like looking up to someone who you see as a figurehead, and as someone who you like literally will sit there and go, this person, they want what's best for me because I help them get what they want, or what, they've helped me through tough times, and they might just be giving back to us because we've given them so much and stuff. That is like that type of person like that will take advantage, and the broadcast just got fucked up because everything just got nuked. Because my game